It was a quiet Thursday morning when Frank, a 71-year-old retired teacher, settled into his favorite armchair with his morning coffee and newspaper. He had always been proud of his routine. Up at 6 a.m., coffee by 6:30, news by 7. But halfway through reading the headlines, something was not right. A dull, persistent ache began spreading across his forehead, like a tight band wrapped around his head. Frank rubbed his temples and thought, "Must be the weather changing. I will be fine in a minute." Later that morning, while reaching for his favorite coffee mug on the top shelf, Frank felt the room tilt slightly. He gripped the counter, waiting for the dizzy spell to pass. Probably just got up too fast. He reasoned, the way we all do when our bodies try to tell us something we are not ready to hear. What Frank did not realize, what many of us over 60 do not realize, is that these seemingly innocent symptoms can be our body's urgent way of saying, "Your blood pressure is climbing into dangerous territory, and we need help." According to recent data from the Centers for Disease Control, nearly 70% of adults over 65 have high blood pressure. Even more concerning, many do not know it until it is almost too late. Today, we are going to explore the 6 warning signs that your blood pressure may be silently threatening your health. The science behind why these signs appear, and most importantly, the practical steps you can take starting today to protect your heart and extend your healthiest years. Welcome to Senior Health Facts, your trusted home for science-backed, compassionate advice to help you live stronger, safer, and healthier after 60. If staying informed about your health matters to you, hit that subscribe button so you will not miss any of our life-changing health insights. Let me paint you a picture of what is happening inside your body as you age, because understanding the why behind high blood pressure can literally save your life. Think of your blood vessels like the garden hose you have used for years. When that hose is new, it is flexible and expands easily when you turn on the water. But after years of use, exposure to heat and cold, it becomes stiffer, less flexible. The same thing happens to our arteries as we age. This natural aging process, called arterial stiffening, means our blood vessels cannot expand as easily when blood flows through them. It is like trying to push the same amount of water through a narrower, less flexible tube. The pressure builds up. The American Heart Association explains that this age-related change, combined with decades of lifestyle factors, makes adults over 60 particularly vulnerable to hypertension. Here is what makes this so serious for our generation. First, the stakes are higher. When you are 25, your body can often compensate for elevated blood pressure. At 65 or 70, your heart, kidneys, and brain have been working hard for decades. High blood pressure becomes the straw that can break the camel's back. Second, the damage compounds. Harvard Health Publishing notes that untreated hypertension does not just increase your risk of heart attack, it quietly damages multiple organ systems simultaneously. Your kidneys work harder to filter blood, your eyes' delicate vessels strain under pressure, and your brain receives inconsistent blood flow that can affect memory and thinking. Third, we are more likely to have silent high blood pressure. Unlike a broken bone or a fever, hypertension often gives no obvious warning signs until serious damage has occurred. That is why it has earned the frightening nickname, the silent killer. The Mayo Clinic research shows that for every 20-point increase in systolic blood pressure above 115, your risk of cardiovascular disease doubles. For those of us over 60, this means a reading of 150/90, which might feel normal because we have had it for months, is actually putting enormous strain on our bodies. Here is the encouraging news. Unlike many aspects of aging, high blood pressure is largely within our control. The key is recognizing the early warning signs and taking action before irreversible damage occurs. Let us dive deep into the 6 signs that your blood pressure may be climbing to dangerous levels. I want you to think of these not as symptoms to fear, but as your body's early warning system trying to keep you safe. Sign number 1. Frequent morning headaches. Frank's story is not unique. That persistent morning headache he experienced happens because blood pressure often peaks in the early morning hours. During sleep, your blood pressure naturally dips, but it rises sharply upon waking as your body prepares for the day ahead. When your blood pressure is consistently elevated, this morning surge puts extra pressure on the blood vessels in your brain, creating that characteristic pressure band headache. It is different from a tension headache. It often feels like your head is in a vice, and it may be accompanied by a feeling of fullness behind your eyes. A word of caution. While not all morning headaches indicate high blood pressure, recurring ones, especially if they are new for you, deserve immediate medical attention. These headaches are your brain's way of saying the blood vessels are under stress. Sign number 2. Dizziness or lightheadedness. Remember Frank's moment at the kitchen counter. That was not just getting up too fast. When blood pressure is elevated, your heart may struggle to maintain consistent blood flow to your brain, especially during position changes. This happens because high blood pressure can affect your body's ability to regulate circulation. Sometimes the blood vessels cannot adjust quickly enough when you stand up, leading to brief moments where your brain does not receive adequate oxygen-rich blood. Important distinction. While occasional dizziness can have many causes, dehydration, ear problems, medication side effects, recurring episodes, especially when combined with other symptoms on this list, warrant immediate medical evaluation. Sign number 3. Blurred or double vision. Your eyes contain some of the smallest, most delicate blood vessels in your body. These tiny vessels are particularly vulnerable to damage from sustained high blood pressure. When blood pressure remains elevated, it can cause these delicate eye vessels to leak, swell, or even burst. This might first appear as occasional blurriness, difficulty focusing on reading, or seeing double images, especially later in the day when you are tired. Critical note. The National Eye Institute emphasizes that vision changes related to blood pressure can be irreversible. If you notice sudden changes in your vision, blurriness, dark spots, or flashing lights, this requires immediate emergency medical attention. Sign number 4. Shortness of breath with minimal activity. If climbing your usual flight of stairs leaves you more winded than it used to, or carrying groceries from the car feels more challenging, your heart may be working overtime due to elevated blood pressure. High blood pressure forces your heart to pump harder to move blood through your circulatory system. Over time, this extra work can cause the heart muscle to thicken and become less efficient, leading to what doctors call heart strain. Many of our community members have shared that they initially attributed increased breathlessness to just getting older or being out of shape. While fitness certainly plays a role, sudden changes in your exercise tolerance can signal that your cardiovascular system is under stress. Sign number 5. Frequent or severe nosebleeds. While nosebleeds can have many causes, dry air allergies or minor injuries, Frequent or severe nosebleeds in adults over 60 can sometimes indicate elevated blood pressure. The blood vessels in your nasal passages are delicate and close to the surface. When blood pressure is consistently high, these vessels are under constant stress and may rupture more easily. Important clarification. Not everyone with high blood pressure experiences nosebleeds, and nosebleeds do not always indicate hypertension. However, if you are experiencing them more frequently than usual, especially combined with other signs from this list, it is worth having your blood pressure checked. Sign number 6. Chest pain or pressure, the most urgent warning. This is the sign that demands immediate action. Chest discomfort related to high blood pressure can feel like a heavy weight on your chest. A squeezing or tight sensation, pain that radiates to your arm, jaw, or back, or pressure that worsens with activity. High blood pressure can strain your heart muscle and, over time, contribute to the development of coronary artery disease. When your heart is not receiving adequate oxygen-rich blood, it sends out distress signals in the form of chest pain. Emergency protocol. Any chest pain or pressure should be treated as a potential medical emergency. Call 911 immediately. It is always better to have chest pain evaluated and discover it is not serious than to wait and risk a heart attack. Now that you understand the warning signs, let us focus on the empowering part. What you can do starting today to take control of your blood pressure and protect your health. Action step number 1. Monitor your blood pressure regularly at home. Frank made one of the smartest health decisions of his life when he invested in a home blood pressure monitor. Choose a validated monitor with a cuff that fits your arm properly. Take readings at the same time each day, ideally in the morning before medications and in the evening before dinner. Sit quietly for 5 minutes before testing. Keep your feet flat on the floor and support your arm at heart level. The American Heart Association's 2023 guidelines emphasize that home monitoring provides a more accurate picture of your blood pressure than occasional doctor's office readings, which can be elevated due to white coat syndrome. Action step number 2. Embrace a heart-healthy, senior-friendly diet. This is not about drastic changes. It is about smart substitutions that make a real difference. Reduce sodium gradually. Instead of the standard 3,400 milligrams most Americans consume daily, aim for 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams. Start by using herbs and spices instead of salt, choosing fresh foods over processed ones, and reading nutrition labels. Increase potassium-rich foods. Bananas, sweet potatoes, spinach, and white beans help your body balance sodium levels naturally. Studies show that the dietary approaches to stop hypertension eating pattern can lower blood pressure by 8 to 14 millimeters of mercury, equivalent to some blood pressure medications. Action. Step number 3. Move your body in ways that feel good. You do not need to run marathons. Research from the Mayo Clinic shows that even 30 minutes of gentle, consistent movement most days can significantly impact blood pressure. Walking. Start with 10 to 15 minutes after meals and gradually increase. Swimming or water aerobics. Excellent for joint-friendly cardio. Gardening. Counts as moderate activity and provides stress relief. Chair exercises. Perfect for those with mobility limitations. Action step number 4. Master stress management techniques. Chronic stress keeps your blood pressure elevated through the constant release of stress hormones. Here are proven techniques that work especially well for our age group. Deep breathing exercises. The 4-7-8 technique. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Progressive muscle relaxation. Systematically tensing and releasing muscle groups. Meditation or prayer. Even 10 minutes daily can make a measurable difference. Engaging hobbies. Reading puzzles, music, or crafts that fully absorb your attention. Action. Step number 5. Take medications exactly as prescribed. If your doctor has recommended blood pressure medication, taking it consistently is crucial. Many people worry about side effects or think they can skip doses when they feel fine, but this can lead to dangerous blood pressure spikes. Modern blood pressure medications are generally well tolerated and can be adjusted if you experience side effects. The risk of uncontrolled hypertension far outweighs the risk of properly prescribed medication. After that morning wake-up call, Frank began checking his blood pressure twice daily. He replaced his afternoon snack of salted crackers with a handful of unsalted almonds, joined a senior walking group at the local community center, and learned meditation through a library program. Within 8 weeks, Frank's average blood pressure reading dropped from 158/94 to 138/82. More importantly, his morning headaches became a thing of the past, and he felt more energetic than he had in years. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 67-year-old grandmother from Ohio who watches our channel. Last year, Margaret wrote to tell us her story. She had been experiencing many of the signs we have discussed: morning headaches, occasional dizziness, and feeling winded when playing with her grandchildren. Like many of us, she kept thinking, this is just part of getting older. But after watching one of our videos about blood pressure, Margaret decided to get checked. Her reading was 165/98, stage 2 hypertension. Her doctor was amazed she had not had a stroke or heart attack. Today, Margaret is thriving. She monitors her blood pressure daily, has modified her diet using strategies we have shared, and takes a daily walk while listening to audiobooks. Her latest reading, 128/76. But here is what Margaret told us that really touched my heart. I realized I was not just managing my blood pressure. I was fighting for every future birthday, every holiday with my grandchildren. Every morning, I get to wake up next to my husband of 45 years. That is what this is really about. It is not just about numbers on a monitor. It is about protecting your independence, your relationships, and all the moments that make life beautiful. You deserve to feel strong, stable, and confident that your heart is working for you, not against you. You deserve to wake up without headaches, to climb stairs without gasping, and to see clearly without worrying about your vision. Here is your challenge for this week. Check your blood pressure at least 3 times, once in the morning, once in the evening, and once during a typical afternoon. Write down not just the numbers, but how you felt at the time. Were you stressed? Relaxed? Had you just eaten? Bring this information to your next doctor's appointment. Or, if your readings are consistently above 140/90, schedule an appointment this week. If you are ready to take control of your blood pressure and protect your heart for all the years ahead, subscribe to Senior Health Facts so you will not miss our next life-changing health guide. Many people ask whether loneliness truly affects physical health. The evidence is clear. Prolonged isolation can raise inflammation and increase the risks for heart disease and memory decline over time. You might wonder what numbers should concern you. I have heard different things from different sources. According to the current American Heart Association guidelines, here is the breakdown. Normal is less than 120/80. Elevated is systolic 120 to 129, diastolic less than 80. Stage 1 hypertension is 130 to 139/80 to 89. Stage 2 hypertension is 140/90 or higher. Hypertensive crisis is higher than 180/120 and requires immediate medical attention. For adults over 65, some doctors may accept slightly higher targets, but this should always be an individualized decision with your healthcare provider. Can reducing salt really make that much difference? I have been eating the same way for 70 years. Absolutely. And the research is compelling. A study published in the New England Journal of Medicine showed that reducing sodium intake by just 1,000 milligrams daily, about half a teaspoon of salt, can lower systolic blood pressure by 3 to 6 millimeters of mercury. For context, that is often equivalent to taking a mild blood pressure medication. The key is making gradual changes so your taste buds can adjust. How often should you check your blood pressure at home? My doctor only checks it once every 6 months. For most adults over 60, checking 2 to 3 times per week is ideal for establishing your baseline. If you are making lifestyle changes or starting new medications, daily monitoring for the first month helps track your progress. Always take readings at consistent times. Many people find success with a morning reading before breakfast and an evening reading before dinner. You might get very nervous at the doctor's office and your blood pressure spikes. Are home readings more accurate? What you are experiencing is called white coat hypertension, and it is incredibly common. Home readings are often more representative of your typical blood pressure because you are in a comfortable, familiar environment. However, both readings are valuable information for your doctor. Many physicians now rely more heavily on home monitoring logs than single office readings for treatment decisions. Let me share specific actions you can take based on each warning sign. If you experience morning headaches, this happens because blood pressure surges upon waking. Monitor your blood pressure daily and reduce evening sodium intake. This prevents stroke risk and improves sleep quality. When dizziness or lightheadedness occurs, this indicates inconsistent blood flow to your brain. Check your blood pressure, hydrate properly, and move slowly when changing positions. This leads to better balance and reduced fall risk. If you notice blurred or double vision, damaged blood vessels in your eyes may be the cause. See your eye doctor and manage blood pressure consistently. This protects your vision and prevents retinopathy. Experiencing shortness of breath signals heart strain from elevated pressure. Get a cardiac evaluation and start a gentle exercise program. This results in a stronger heart and improved endurance. Frequent nosebleeds happen due to stress on delicate nasal vessels. Monitor your blood pressure, use a humidifier, and practice gentle nose care. This prevents vessel damage. For chest pain or pressure indicating heart muscle under stress, call 911 immediately. This action is potentially life-saving. Here is your daily heart-healthy routine. In the morning, check your blood pressure before breakfast and take prescribed medications with water. At lunch, choose a colorful low-sodium meal with plenty of vegetables and lean protein. In the evening, take a 20 to 30-minute gentle walk and practice 5 minutes of deep breathing. As a bonus tip, keep a simple log of your blood pressure readings and how you felt. This information is gold for your doctor. Remember, small, consistent changes compound over time. You do not need to transform your entire life overnight. Just make one heart-healthy choice at a time. Everything we have shared today is for educational purposes to help you make informed choices about your health. While the experiences shared by Frank Margaret and other community members are real and inspiring, everyone's health journey is unique. I always encourage you to work closely with your doctor or healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your diet, exercise routine, or medication schedule. They know your personal health history, your current medications, and any other conditions you may have. Information that is crucial for creating the safest, most effective plan for managing your blood pressure. What worked wonderfully for Frank and Margaret might need small adjustments for your specific situation. Your healthcare team is your best partner in this journey toward better blood pressure control and overall heart health. The warning signs we have discussed today are important to recognize, but they should always be evaluated by a medical professional who can properly assess your individual risk and recommend appropriate treatment. Take care of yourself, stay informed, and remember, you have more control over your health than you might think. I will see you in the next video where we continue building your foundation for healthy, independent aging.